It certainly isn't going to be anyone's favorite topic, because unfortunately today we're talking about taxation. And taxation is the way that the government makes money. One of the main ways. Basically what they say is that if you make money in the country, since you're lucky enough to make money in the country, you're going to pay the government a little bit of the money that you make. And it is based on how much money you make within a year. Okay? Although you pay tax every time you get a paycheck, we call that pay as you go, overall you will get your amount of money really that should get taken out is totally based on a yearly wage, not on a weekly or a fortnightly wage. Pay as you go is a sort of a fixing solution. It means that you're paying little by little rather than having to, at the end of the year, pay tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars all at the end of the year. Instead, you can pay it as you go. And we're going to talk about yearly taxation. Now, I've got two tax tables here, mostly just to talk about the fact that, as you can see here, the taxation table has in fact changed in the last couple of years. You're not going to see it in the earlier sections, but you can certainly see it in the later sections there, that there are some differences. Here it's every dollar over $37,000. Here it's every dollar over $45,000, which means that the tax thresholds have gotten higher each time. And you can see that that's across the board on all of these different examples here. What we want to talk about then today is then how do we actually calculate tax? Now, since our textbook was written in 2019, we're going to be using the tax table on the left, even though it is the less accurate one because it's not really talking about the real world. It's going to be more useful for us because a lot of the questions in the textbook are based on this table, not the table on your right. So let's go through and work out some different people's taxation amounts. So just a bit of language. If I talk about gross income, that is the income before tax. Okay? If I talk about net income, that is your gross income. Gross income is before deductions, so before any deductions. Okay, we'll talk about deductions a little bit later. And your net income is your gross income minus any deductions that you have. Alrighty. You might know a little bit about deductions already. If not, no worries at all. So we're going to look at three different examples. The first person makes $25,000 in a year. How much tax do they pay? Second person makes $80,000 in a year. How much tax do they pay? And the third person is going to make $200,000. Just to kind of give us a feeler of a few different of the tax brackets and how each of them work. So the first one is $25,000, right? Well, $25,000 is in between $18,000 and $37,000. Therefore, we're going to be using this as our instructions. 19 cents for each dollar over 18,200. Okay? So 19 cents for each dollar over 18,200. So, step one, let's work out how much bigger this is than 18,200. How do we do that? We use subtraction. 25,000 minus 18,200 is $6,800. And from there, we need to work out 19 cents for each of those dollars. So 19 cents, $0.19, multiplied by $6,800. And that is equal to $1,292. Alrighty? So, we're going to call it total tax. Let's just call it tax. So the tax they would pay would be $1,292. Right? Which doesn't sound like too much, but if you're on a low income, any amount of taxation is going to be a burden on you. Alrighty. So that was the first person. Second person makes a little bit more money. They make $80,000, which is going to put them into the next bracket here. The $37,000 to $90,000, which means that they're going to get paid. Okay, this is two different sections, right? I hope everyone can notice this, right? We've got this first bit, which is $3,572, plus a second bit, which looks like the previous one, 32.5 cents for each dollar over $37,000. Okay, so rather than working harder, let's work smarter. We already know how to do the second part, the 32 cents for each dollar over $37,000. We go 80,000. How many dollars is that over $37,000? Well, you just subtract it off. And that's going to be $43,000. It's the same as that first step we did before. Oh, sorry, $43,000. And then we're going to work out the 32 cents part. So that's $0.325 multiplied by $43,000. And that's going to give us $13,975. So that's the entire second part. It's the exact same working out as before, except we haven't included this extra bit, this $3,572, this blue bit. So in this case, the tax is going to be two parts added together. Tax is going to be equal to the blue part, $3,572, plus the red bit we just worked out, $13,975. And so the total tax, well, not total tax, I'm not going to call it total tax because there's a reason for that, but the tax in this case is going to be $17,547 tax. Okay, so you can see the tax has jumped up quite a bit compared with our first person. Our first person is making a little under half of what the other person's making, but the amount of tax they're paying is almost 10 times different. And this is why we have what's called a graduated taxation system, meaning that the more money you make, the more you get taxed. Hence, the tax rates get higher and higher the more money you make. Alrighty, I'm just going to move C over a bit, and then we're going to get started. So C looks a lot like B. If you have a look at it, it is the third category. And it looks very similar, right? We have this blue part, the $54,000.97, right? Because it's over $18,001. And then we've got this red part, which looks like the previous two calculations we've done. So once again, let's start at the back, work out this 45 cents for each dollar over 180,000, and we're good to go. So how much is 200,000 over? Well, 200,000 minus 180,000 is 20,000. And we're paying 45 cents, so 0.45 times for every dollar over, which is $9,000. So the total tax, not total tax, just the tax, is going to be equal to the blue part, which I haven't included yet, which was $54,097, plus the red part that we just worked out, $9,000. And the total is going to be $63,097 total tax. And you could see, once again, person C is making a little bit more, significantly more than double what person B is making, but they're paying also well and truly more than that in terms of tax. It's the way a graduated taxation system should work. So here's a quick introduction into taxation and how to calculate it. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.